Inside the Village.
You talked about the housing plan. The housing crisis has obviously been consistent around the country for a while. Lots of different governments, both provincial and federal, have talked about tackling the housing crisis, building supply. Your plan is really, as we've seen in the commercials, this idea to go back to a kind of a post-war plan where the government's sort of quarterbacking the building of houses. A $25 billion government agency is part of the platform. Can you sell that to us? Explain that to us.
Yeah, let me explain it to you.
Yeah.
So there's a couple of things. One is that the housing plans up until now have been too timid. And a lot of the plans have focused on demand, right? Like, how do I get costs down, people's cost to buy a home? Which, look, we're doing the same thing with respect to cutting GST on new homes and cutting development charges in half. And, you know, it depends where you are across this great province, but the combination of those two on a new home is going to save you somewhere between $40,000 and $100,000 on the price of that home. So that's big money. Okay, that's big money that shifts. But we really got to get supply up. And how are we going to kickstart supply? The government agency focuses Build Canada Homes is what is going to be called. It focuses on doing the following: for deeply affordable housing. So we got a homelessness problem in this province, and we have an affordable housing problem in this province. So what are we going to do about it? Well, basically, government's going to build some of those homes, but we're going to build it in a way that helps kickstart an entire industry of a much more efficient way of building homes. Modular, prefabricated home, multi-unit housing as well, and we'll do it so that we're using Canadian steel, Canadian lumber, Canadian technology, obviously Canadian skilled trades. And so by doing that, we account for probably about 15% of that doubling of the amount. So something that's big enough to make a difference for the businesses, they know they're going to have a secure amount of demand, but it's really the private market that's going to drive the balance of that. In order for that to happen as well, we need to clean up a bunch of the regulations, work with a bunch of the municipalities, get costs down. So we're going to do all of that at once. The $25 billion, most of that money, in fact, all of that money, doesn't go to the government agency. It goes to private developers who are going to be building this out. Mm-hmm. So for those listening, look, if you're a developer on housing, this is going to be a great time. And we're going hard on this. And secondly, if you're younger and you want to get in the trades, listen, we are going to build this country for the next quarter century and plus. It is going to be a great time to be in the skilled trades. We're literally going to create hundreds of thousands of, not jobs, but careers. Last point, if I may, we're being thoughtful about this. At least I think we're being thoughtful, because what you also see in the platform, and we made this announcement a couple weeks ago in the GTA, is we're going to pay for apprenticeships in the skilled trades. We're going to work with the unions for their apprenticeship programs. We're going to invest in the post-secondary institutions so they've got more spaces for apprenticeship. So we know that we've got the plan to double the rate of home building. We know that needs more Canadian lumber and steel. We're going to have requirements for that. We know that we're going to need more skilled trade for that. And so we're getting ready for all of that so it all fits together.